Hey, hi everyone. Oops, I'm not the one you're waiting for. अब तो किसी और का इंतजार कर रहे थे ना? Okay, so जब तक आप जिसका इंतजार कर रहे हैं, स्ट्राइवर, जब तक वो आते हैं, let's have a discussion. So what is this all about? This is the Winter's interview preparation series by Geeks that will guide you to enhance the problem solving skills that eventually lead you to crack any interview you set for. So, in a span of 7 days, you would solve DSA question, work on case studies and life projects, develop MVVPs, and much more. Towards the end of this workshop, you would get acquainted with the frequently asked questions in interviews, know how to make your CV stand out, and strengthen your confidence through mock session. Okay, so and today is the day one, and the day one starts with Striver. तो बिना टाइम वेस्ट किए चलिए वो करते हैं जिसका बेसब्री से आपको इंतजार. Okay, so let's welcome Striver. Hi
Hey,
Striver,
hey,
how are you?
Siddharth. Yeah, I'm fine. How are you?
Fine. So how's life?
It's going good. What about you? It's been the COVID is not ending. It's been couple of years, and we all are locked down in home. But yeah, fortunately, I've been traveling a lot in the last couple of days, in the last couple of weeks rather. So yeah, it's going. Let's hope that the new variant Omicron does not hamper life so much.
Okay, okay. So people know a lot about you and they already must be knowing. But still, can we have a brief intro about you from yourself?
Sure. Why not? So, for everyone watching out here, in case you don't know me, my name is Raj Vikramaditya. It's a huge name, but yeah, you can call me Striver. That is what the entire programming community calls me. I do run a YouTube channel which goes by the name Take You Forward, which has around 1,35,000 plus 35, yeah, 1,35,000 subscribers. And primarily, what I do is I'm a software engineer. I did pursue my BTech from Jalpaiguri Government Engineering College, which is located at Jalpaiguri, West Bengal, and I did my BTech in information technology. And after that, in the last semester, I did my internship at Amazon, and after that, I did join Media.net, which was a part of Direct Group as a software engineer. And after that, currently, I have moved on to Google Poland, where I'm currently working as a software engineer. And yeah, that's pretty much about me. I think that's a short introduction.
That was huge. Okay. Okay. So that was a very good quality introduction from you. So let's start from the journey of you. So the journey from Raj to Striver. What was the transition? How this all happened?
This To be very honest, as everyone out here, I was also a, a guy who wanted to get into IITs or probably some NITs or triple IITs or probably some good college. So in my class 12, I did sat for IIT JEE. Unfortunately, I was not able to clear JEE mains for the first time. I did miss out. No, I was able to clear by some marks, but it was not good enough that I could get into some IITs or triple IITs or NITs or any other colleges. So what I did was I took a drop for 1 year, and after that I again started preparing, which I think a lot of you would have also done. So I took a drop and I again
Yeah.
started preparing, but unfortunately this time also I was not able to make into any of the bigger colleges. So as you know, taking a drop for more than 1 year is very risky when it comes to career perspective. So whatever college I got a very good college. Specifically in West Bengal, the college comes in the top five, not in terms of placements, not in terms of academics, but yeah, in terms of rankings and all. The college does come in the top five, and that is the college that I did choose. So when I entered the college, it was around 2016, and in our college we had TCS, CTS, all these companies visiting. So the average package at the time of the college was around a 3 to 4 LP, and everyone was getting placed from CSCIT. But yeah, everyone was getting placed. I was very like, okay, let's get into this college and probably back some packages of 40,000, 50,000 per month, and I'll be super happy. And that is what I did. Go to the college thinking, and in the first year it was very simple. Everyone was coding, and there were some seniors who did tell us to code, so I also started coding. I did not think that the coding can could have changed so much. In my second year, I did meet some of my friends, online friends from the coding world, and I did understand
Okay.
that in IITs and NITs, these type of companies do come, because in our college there was no such company like Amazon or Microsoft or Facebook or Google coming in. So we did not even know what kind of interviews does these companies do have, or we didn't even know key what are the packages these companies offer. We just heard key, okay, there is something as Amazon, there is something as Microsoft, Facebook, Google, what else are software engineers, and that is the only thing that we did know. So when I interacted with these people from IITs and IITs, I did come to know about that they do offer packages of 30 LPA, 40 LPA, some 60 LPA. 1 CR was grabbing the headlines at that time. So I was like, okay, what can I do to get these things offline? And that is when I did some research, and I did find out that the interviews are based on data set algorithms. And for that, to stand out, I thought I need to do something different. And that is where the entire
Okay.
journey of competitive programming started. And my first username was RVP124, and it was December time when Codeforces does allow you to change your username. I thought, why not make it
Okay.
something which I keep on doing? And what I was doing at that moment was striving, right? So I thought striving,
Okay.
strive. From there, I just added an
Yeah,
R, which
yeah,
everyone
yeah.
does.
Yeah, understood.
Everyone does, right? So I
Yeah,
added
yeah.
an R to it, and the name becomes Striver. And
Okay.
unfortunately, that was not available on Codeforces. Someone had taken that
Okay.
5 years back, but he was not active. So I did text him, can you please drop that off, delete your account so that I can take this? But there was no response. So what I did was, my birthday goes
Mhm.
as 7th September. So what I did was striver_79. That is where from the username did come. The only reason I kept it as striver was because I was striving every night while giving long challenges. If you look at my long challenges, like if you just go at my code chef submissions, I was practically giving every long challenge. 4 o'clock in the night, 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, I was submitting solutions. I did not miss a single Code Forces contest from my second year to third year. Not a single. Even if I went on a trip to Missouri, I did give my contest from there. That is what I was keeping on doing. So that is where from Striver came in. And when I went into my fourth year, I did an internship at GFG. And after that, I was thinking to get an SD internship. And fortunately, there was uh, all over campus, no, pan India hiring happening for Amazon. 6 months intern. I did sat for it, and there was around 400 people in that campus where I went to interview, and there was a 20 people got selected. I was fortunately among one of them. And after that,
Okay.
there was one guy who referred me at LinkedIn. Sorry, from LinkedIn, who referred me at Media.net. So I got an interview opportunity. I cracked that, and I got an offer from Media.net, and that was a changing point for my college, because till
Absolutely.
that date in our college, if anyone got 5 6 LPA, that was considered to be one of the biggest achievements, and people used to party.
Absolutely.
That was something very different in our college, that someone cracking such a huge package. And that is when the change started. And after that, I actually did not complete my internship at Amazon, because my joining date of Media.net was 1 month before the completion of Amazon's internship. So I had to leave the internship in between, and I moved on to join as software
Okay.
engineer. After that, I worked for 1 year at Media.net. And after that, I thought I need something different, and I did try international. So after that, I went on to trying at Google Warsaw and Facebook London, and I got offers from both of them, and I decided to join Google. The specific reason being, I also wanted to pursue my YouTube. So that was my professional journey. So when I cracked
Okay.
Media.net, I always thought, what if I did in college? Like in my college, always used to tell people to code, because
Okay.
in tier 3 you have to do something different. And since I did
Absolutely.
code a lot, I thought, if this is the way that gave me success, then probably others can follow that, and they can also get the same amount of success. And that is what I thought, ki, okay, if I can tell people in my college, why can't I tell the same thing to the people outside the world? And I was always thinking of making a YouTube channel, but in India, unless until you have a brand, people,
Yeah,
if you're from an
absolutely.
IIT, if you are from IIT, people are going to follow you. If you are from a good company, be it Amazon, Google, people are going to follow you. So I was always like, okay, let me crack something, then I'll open a YouTube channel. So the day I got my offer from
Okay.
Media.net, a week later, I started my YouTube channel, and that is when, in I think it's been 18 months, and I have gathered 135,000 subscribers by teaching, and hardly any clickbait contents. I do have another channel, but that's how the YouTube scenario came in, and yeah, that's how you know me. And I'm taking a session today as driver. Yeah, that's what.
Mm, that was really very huge. So you have done a lot of things. Your journey
Hmm.
is amazing. And when you told that, yeah, you went to Missouri, still you managed to give long contest. So it seems that you are a kind of person who can manage time very efficiently. So why not the people know how do you manage your time in your back in college days?
Uh, Back in college days, I was not someone who was pretty much a lot into projects or something like semesters. I used to study for my semester just 6 hours before my exam. Like we had exams in the morning morning 7. So I used to study after dinner. Like dinner was around 10 o'clock, and then I started studying. So I did not spend a lot of time in studying, which I'll never recommend anyone to do. Please do study, because if you don't have a good CGPA, you might just lose out on an opportunity. So please make sure you have a good CGPA. At least study a couple of weeks before your semester exams. But when it comes to managing time, I feel you have to set your priorities right up there. Like if you want to do something, do it on a full
Mm,
fledged manner. Nowadays, what I see people as people do things because they want to achieve something, which is good in
yeah,
a way, but it's wrong in a massive way. Because what now people think is, okay, I have an interview at Amazon, so I'm gonna just study for whatever Amazon asks. And that is where people lack, because just imagine the interview asking you something which is quite slightly different from what Amazon does ask. Then you're gonna struggle, right? So that is why you should always prepare
absolutely.
in such a way that, let's say you're doing DSA. Okay, why are you preparing for Amazon? Why are you preparing for Microsoft? Don't prepare for anything. Just make sure you do DSA in such a way that doesn't matter whatever
Mhm.
company, doesn't matter who is the interviewer. If you're sitting down for the interview, you're absolutely sure that you're going to crack it. And that was the motive
Right.
that I always had. Like if I'm going to do competitive programming, I'm going to give it
True.
100%. Like when I say
True.
100% time management, uh, if there was a contest at 8 o'clock, if I was out with
Mm,
friends, I'll make sure that I'll come back at 8 o'clock and give the contest till 10 o'clock. After 10 o'clock, I'll quickly have my dinner for 15 minutes, and then I'll look at the editorials or probably the comment sections of the code forces where people do discuss their solutions.
mhm,
I'm not saying that
mhm.
I'm the best coder, but what I made sure was, if I'm doing
Absolutely.
something, I do it with entire passion means पूरा मतलब, अगर मेरे पास अगर मैं बैठ रहा हूँ तो ऐसा नहीं कि 8 से 10 कॉन्टेस्ट दे दिया चलो अब जाके सोता हूँ, नहीं। जब तक मुझे वो
Mm,
जो क्वेश्चन में से बना नहीं, जब तक मुझे पता नहीं है कि कैसे बनेगा, तब तक मैं उठता नहीं था। एंड इफ यू लव समथिंग, आई थिंक मैनेजिंग टाइम इज नॉट अ बिग स्टफ। नाउ डेज आई सी पीपल कंप्लेनिंग कि यार कॉलेज के क्लासेस रहते हैं, यार
absolutely.
अभी तो स्टिल ऑनलाइन है, तुम लोग गूगल मीट पे क्लासेस करते। तो एट आवर टाइम इट वाज लाइक वी हैव टू गेट अप इन 9 o'clock in the morning, we have to go to the college, we came back at 6 o'clock. So we had to go offline classes, and whenever you go offline classes, you cannot study anything in your classes classrooms,
No.
basically. बट अभी तो गूगल मीट है यार, ठीक है, कैमरा बंद कर लो, साइड में कुछ कर लो, दो मॉनिटर ले लो, एक लैपटॉप और साइड में मॉनिटर ले लो। अगर करना है, देखो, अगर करना है तो एक्सक्यूजेस आप नहीं बना सकते। if you want to do something, stop finding excuses, rather find ways and give some extra effort. रात को आजकल तो मनी हाइस्ट का अगर सीजन आ रहा है तो 12 बजे, अगर मनी हाइस्ट का सीजन आ रहा है तो 12 से 3 तो सबसे पहले खत्म करना है। स्पाइडरमैन का मूवी
Mm,
आ रहा है तो सबसे पहले तो वो देख के स्पॉइलर देना है व्हाट्सएप स्टेटस पे। इफ योर मेन प्रायोरिटीज आर दैट, यू कैन नॉट कंप्लेन इन फोर्थ ईयर की मेरे से नहीं हुआ। योर फर्स्ट प्रायोरिटीज शुड बी सेट। लाइक दैट्स समथिंग यू शुड ऑलवेज डू। प्रायोरिटी सेट रखो यार। अगर कोडिंग कर रहे हो तो यार पूरा जी जान से करो। भले ही तुम बेस्ट मत बनो, बट इतना तुम करो कि यार खुद को एटलीस्ट तुम्हें
खुद
2 साल बाद ना लगे कि यार शायद मैं 2 साल पहले ज्यादा कर सकता था। ये वाला फीलिंग नहीं आना चाहिए,
जस्टिफाई कर
राइट?
सको।
हम्म।
ओके, सो बेसिक था कि मोटिव और प्यार ज्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट है, जिसके प्रति रहेगा वो ही वुड डू।
करेक्ट।
Okay,
करेक्ट।
so that's the thing. So let's move forward with the next question. So now the next question for you is, how did a tier 3 college, the college which has very less number of opportunities, only companies like service based companies do come, not that great companies, and not that you should be proud of or something about yourself, And then how did you, from this point to cracking Google as well as Facebook, from this
So
point to this point?
I think if I say ki tier 3, like being from a tier 3 college, you can see you have couple of options. If you are getting into tier 3, tier 4, tier 5, tier 6, tier 60, tier 100, doesn't matter whatever college you're getting in, you have two options. Either you can sit on the corner, you can go into the telegram groups, you can be in your groups and say ki yaar, I'm in this college, there is no placements. You can sit back and cry. What you can do is, see, we know that from if you are from a small college, we know one thing: we will have limited opportunities. But
Absolutely.
is it such that we will have no opportunities? No, we're gonna have opportunities, but yes, it will be limited. So you have two options: either you sit back and cry, or else you do something different, and whatever you're doing, you make sure ki you're the best in that. And after that, trust me, like be it Google, be it Facebook, it isn't tough. Like I have, like, all of my juniors in my college
Mhm.
still, like, they get off campus referrals and they're interviewing at Google. As of now, Google India, everyone has interviewed at Google India. One also got an offer, that also off campus. So even if you're from tier 3 college, even if you're from tier 4, even if you're anyone, Google does give you an opportunities, and it's very easy. Trust me, if you're good enough, try reaching out to LinkedIn, try reaching out to people at LinkedIn. Ask them that, hey, listen, I have done this and this in the last couple of years, can you please refer me? And trust me, there are people who are going to refer you. That happened with me. I reached out to a lot, like I reached out around 30 people at media.net. 29 did not reply, but there was one guy who replied, and he did give me a referral. So it isn't that everyone is going to reply you, but you have to keep on trying, right? You can't just sit back and cry. You have to keep on trying every other day. And if you keep on trying, trust me, Google ho gaya, Facebook ho gaya, any company is not that tough. And tier 3, no one will see that in your interview. If you're going into an interview once after you have got a referral, it's simply the interviewer and you. Question asked to you, your presentation skills, your problem solving skills, your code quality. That's it. They won't see that, okay, this guy is from this college, cancel. That doesn't happen until unless it's a startup. And a lot of startups I've seen writing key, you're gonna just have people from premium institutes. That happens only in some startups, but when it comes to companies,
Okay.
bigger tech giants like Google and Facebook, people don't care if
Mhm.
you have talent. I know one person who did chartered accountant. His name is
Okay.
Taran Preet. He did
Okay.
chartered accountant. That after that he came back and did, I think, BCA, and he was hired by Google. So you, if you're good enough, you will make it. There might be one thing you might not make it today. Like for me, what happened was when I graduated in 2020, I did not make it to Google. But after 1.5 years, I didn't make it. So if not today, tomorrow you're gonna make it. If not tomorrow, the day after tomorrow. Suraj, like you said, the sun will definitely rise, and
Yeah.
that will definitely happen. So don't have that tag of tier 3. Forget about that. We can't do that. Like हम पीछे आके we can't go back and
सच
correct
तो नहीं
that, can
बदल
we?
सकते.
We
No.
can't change ki we belong to that college, but what we can do is we can work hard so that after 4 years, or whenever we are graduating, we are so good that companies will hire us, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So so we have talked about कि motivation important है. अगर motive clear है, तो you would definitely land in a company like Google or Facebook. The tags won't matter. So
Correct.
that so let's take this forward. Suppose I'm from a tier 3 college and my peers are not doing CP to that extent as they are having a culture in that tier 1 college. So in that case, what should be the how to fight that environment? Everyone is just enjoying or moving out just like it happens. So how to, in that situation, how to sit for a contest and give it? How to do that?
Okay, so in my case, what happened was I did ask all of my batchmates to actually start coding with me, and unfortunately, apart from 4 5 people, no one agreed. And I had one of my roommates, Pavan, and we used to code a lot together. So what I did was in my second year, third year, I did realize that if you're in your college, if you're competing in your college, you're not going to grow so much. So what I did was I tried to find friends from outside, and if at that time I think I was around 1400, 1500 at code forces. So what I did was I tried to find people who are similar to me. Like you can't
Okay.
be like you're a 1400 1500 guy and you go and text a candid master, he be a friend of mine. That's never gonna happen, because the candid master probably will look to be a friend with someone who's kind of similar to him, right? So what happened with me was, since I was a 1400 uh 1500 guy, I tried to find people who were kind of similar to me and who were coding day in day out. So I found six people, and I'll name six of them. I found one, Ashish Gupta. I think a lot of you would be knowing him.
Yeah.
He is currently, I think, a grandmaster at Code Forces. He's currently working at Google. I found one more guy, Abdullah, and he's currently
Okay.
working at Google London. He was all over the news in 2019 for bragging 1.2 CR package, being from a Tier 3
Okay.
college in Mumbai. If you just type Abdullah Aslam, you will get it in Google. The next guy I found
Okay.
was Shwetank. He was working with CodeChef as an intern. After that, he moved on to Amazon. After that, he moved on to Google. There's one more guy, Shoham. He was working with Disha, then he moved on to CodeNation, then he moved on to Google. And after that, I found one more guy, Vivek. He was a master at Code Forces. He is now working with Disha and currently just got promoted to SD2. Now, all of these guys did become friend with me when they were 1400, 1500 Code Forces, and it was the year 2017 when we met. And at that moment, no one was
Okay.
working at any of the big organizations. So you have to make sure that you find those friends. And sitting back today in 2022, I just went on a trip with them 5 days back to Goa, and we met for the first time. So five years we are online friends. So it's
Okay.
important that you make that group right in 2017 or 2000, like whenever you're in your second year. Try to identify people who are like you, and you're sure that you're gonna go ahead, they're also gonna go ahead. So you move together. So after the contest, we always used to discuss. Even if, let's say, I had an interview with Google, after the interviews we used to discuss ki, okay, they're asking these kind of questions. What do you think? What is the solution of this? Can there be a better solution? We always used to discuss. Now that's what we did in our 3 years. And after that, look now, 2022, all of them are at Google. Only one of them is at D-Show, which is again a very, very big company. So
Very.
that's important. You just need to figure out the right set of friends. Now, I've seen a lot of people now doing key. If they are in their second year, they will
Hmm.
always approach people who are very, very good. That's, you have to be lenient on that. Try to approach people who are similar to you. Make a group. Don't
Hmm.
make a huge group. Try to make a group of three, four, five. Don't exceed it to 10. Then what happens is no one does. So just make sure you do
Okay.
that. And once you get a group who are good enough, see, even if you don't get, like, all of those four guys were from Tier 1 colleges. Okay, except
Hmm.
Abdullah and me were
Hmm.
from Abdullah, me and Shwetak was from very small colleges. So it is like
Okay.
a combination. So they always pushed us, key,
Okay.
you can still do better. Like, I had my Google interviews, they always used to tell me, you have to study this, you have to study that, this can happen in the interview. So make your circle as good as possible, because trust me, it helps a lot.
Citrus. Okay, so having a group is also important so that you can share your ideas, get more ideas, and improve yourself. So, yeah, that's a very good point. I hope people would follow. So, let's move to the next question. Next question is that there have been recently in LinkedIn a lot of talk regarding this competitive programming versus this development thing. And this went big. But still, what I want to hear from you that if a person has done a lot of development and he doesn't know how to reverse a linked list, how to invert a binary tree. Okay. So suppose this is the thing. This is the current situation of a person. So how would he proceed and what are the things he would lack in that?
So, when this CP versus dev, the entire thing did bounce up. The whole point
Okay.
of view was, see, if you are doing one thing blindly, let's understand the scenarios of interviews. So, when we talk about
Okay.
interviews, there are two or three different aspects of interviews. Now, we can't just
Okay.
classify that for interviews. This is gonna ask. Imagine the interviews of fang level companies like Facebook, Google, Amazon, Microsoft, all these, Netflix, all these kind of companies. Now,
Okay.
all of these companies do have DSA rounds. Like Google has 5 rounds of DSA, Facebook has 4 rounds of DSA, Amazon has again 4 rounds of DSA, 1 round of coding assessment. Everyone has a DSA round. So on what earth, if you just do development, just to keep on doing development, how are you going to clear those DS rounds? uh, you can't write a code for linked list or binary trees or for dynamic programming. You'll not be able to write, because the entire day you just kept on doing development. So if you are willing to get into these kind of companies, there is no other option. You have to do DSA. You just can't go on doing development and expect to make it to these companies. That's a very very critical point that I want to make. And now when I say competitive programming, again, like if a guy just keeps on doing competitive programming, and let's take the genre of companies like startups or probably remote
Okay.
jobs. Now he'll not be able
Okay.
to make it, because in startups they look for people who are experienced in probably front end, back end, or probably some tech stack. So if someone is doing wholeheartedly competitive programming, he's also not going to make it into those companies. Now, if someone is doing competitive programming, he might make it to FANG level companies. If someone is just doing development, he might make it to startups. So it
Okay.
depends on what your target is. Now if you're willing to have the entire circle, like if you're willing to be suitable for startups, FANG
Uh,
level of companies, then you have to do both. If you don't have
okay.
any dreams of getting into Google, Facebook, then there's no requirement of DSA. Just keep on doing development, make some good projects, do some freelance work, get into remote jobs. You can do that. If you're wanting to get into these stuffs like Facebook, Google, you have to do DSA. Probably competitive programming will help you in enhancing your DSA skills. That's the whole point of view. You just can't say कि ये करने से और ये करने का जरूरत नहीं है. Both have their own importance, and no one can say कि this is better than that, because everything has its own importance. Everything is better than the other in probably some aspects.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, yeah, so what you told, I completely agree with that. But still, while we were kind of growing, while we saw many things, we observed many things, everything was observed. So, while doing all this observation, we saw the tag of open source.
Mhm.
So, so how much is that? Suppose I have done a lot of open source, how much will that contribute to the thing, and I have not done any DSA? Again, let's take the same scenario, but now this time a dev to the next higher level. What
Mhm.
in that case?
Again, as I said, even if you've done a lot of open source, the only thing that will help you is, again, if you're targeting startups, if you're targeting remote jobs, it will be of great help. But the moment you are aiming for companies like Facebook, Google, and all these top tier companies, they will have DS rounds. And it might sound bad, but if I've done open source, I'm not sure how you're going to do a dynamic programming problem in a DS round if an interviewer does ask you that level of question. But again, if your aim is not Facebook, Google, then you don't need to do DSA. Your open source skills is going to help you to uh, get good bucks. See, it's money is something which you can get everywhere. It can,
Yeah,
like whatever Google pays nowadays, a lot of startups are there who do
yeah,
pay 2x of what Google pays. So
yeah.
it depends on your priorities. Like for me, I always wanted to be at Google, so that's my priority. For someone, the priority might be something different. It depends on person
Yeah.
to person, but yeah, if someone's priority is similar to mine, then I'll always recommend him to probably do some competitive programming, or if not competitive programming, do a lot of lead code and data structure and algorithms.
Okay. So we ended up in a good note. So we now know that, yeah, we should be doing DSA if we are kind of making ourselves suitable
Yeah,
for a general basis. So
true,
DSA should be on priority. So
correct.
suppose now let's take this also forward. Now, how much is DSA, or a person who has done competitive programming then did DSA, the same thing, just the other way around. So how much that would help in the placements?
Okay, so again, if you're again targeting placements, uh, as I said, DSA and CP are both kind of similar stuffs. Now, when we talk about DSA, what is exactly DSA? It's data structure and algorithm. So when I say data structure, it's some data structure like stack, queues, linked lists, binary trees, binary search trees, uh, something like that, strings. So those are data structures. Now, when I talk about algorithms, what are algorithms? Probably some algorithms like detect a cycle in linked list, Dijkstra's algorithm, Floyd Warshall in graphs. There's a bunch of other algorithms which you if you do not know, you can't just invent them in an interview. You have to know those data structure and algorithms. So data structure algorithms, so a particular set of questions, 200, 300, 400 questions are there. Those kind of questions. Now, when you go into the interview, a lot of companies do tend to ask same questions on loop. Like if you look at the interview experiences, you'll find them asking questions which already
General questions.
do exist in the market. So for those companies, DSA will suffice. But the moment, let's assume, I give you a very different question which you have never
Okay.
seen. Now, what's the probability that you'll be able to solve it? The probability of that, it might be very low if you're just doing DSA. Why? Because you're very habituated to solving problems which you have already seen, right? You're solving questions
Okay.
like mirror a binary tree, probably reverse a linked list, or probably reverse k groups of linked list, detect a cycle in linked list, probably detect a cycle in graph. All these kind of questions you would have done, right? But the moment I change the question to an unknown question, what's the probability? You will panic. If you're doing DSA, you're definitely going to panic. Yaar, ye kya puch diya? Now, if you have done CP, what is CP? CP is implementation of DS algo in unknown problems. Like every time you go and give a code forces or a code chef or a lead code contest, you get a question which is unknown to you. So you're already facing an unknown question, which is a kind
Okay.
of interview scenario if I compare. Because in interview, what happens is interviewer comes up and he gives you the question and you give him the solution. And if the question is unknown, then it is an ideal scenario for a competitive programming, because in a competitive programming environment, you are almost assured that the question is going to be unknown to you. It's about your problem
Okay.
solving skills. So if you have done a lot of CP, what happens is you are like you're already habituated to that environment of facing unknown questions. Now, if you're
Mm.
habituated, so when you get into the interview, you don't panic. You try to solve that questions as if you're giving a contest. That's the
Yeah.
advantage of CP, because if you're doing CP, the advantage is you don't panic. And if you're doing DSA, yeah, you might be able to solve the question. I'm not saying you will not be able to, but the stuff is you are definitely going to panic if I throw you a unknown question. And that's the importance of CP. If you've done a lot of CP, the panicness will be lesser. The probability of you solving the unknown question will rise significantly. And the other thing is speed, because what you do in lead code is,
Okay.
okay, you're just opening a question and you're like, ठीक है, solve करते, चाय पिया, मम्मी से बात किया, घूम के आ गया, and you're solving a question.
Yeah,
That is what you do.
absolutely.
Or
Yeah,
randomly you
you
watch a
do that.
YouTube, or randomly you watch a YouTube video कि अच्छा, this problem will be solved like this, and you submit the problem. That is what you do when you solve a DS algo problem. But in code forces, there's a timer, or a code check, there's a timer in your back of your head. 2 hours, 1 hour 45 minutes left, 1 hour 30 minutes left. You are submitting it, wrong answer, penalty, rank goes down.
Penalty,
So
yeah.
there is this adrenaline rush that goes on. You're Every time you're giving an answer, you're like, okay, I have to be definitely sure. And that is again a scenario of an interview. So if you're just practicing at different sites like code forces, eventually you will be a better problem solver. And
Yeah.
eventually in the placements, that helps you. That's the relation. It's not like CP is mandatory, but if you do CP, you eventually better yourself. And if you are better, you are going to do well in interviews.
Yeah, absolutely. So the thing is that, so that was the whole damn importance of DSA or CP. So uh, let's take a moment to talk about what are the benefits of doing CP or DSA that would help in your placement, after placement, post placement thing. So what are
Post
the
placement.
benefits? Yeah, post
Okay.
placement.
So I've seen a lot of people uh, on trolling key in
Yeah,
your dev or in your software development jobs. You're not going to invert a binary tree. So why to ask a binary tree? So basically, the reason of asking basic questions is to test your problem solving skills. Now, I absolutely agree that when you get into software engineering jobs, you're not going to invert a binary tree, or not, nor you're going to use linked list. But the stuff is, you would be very good at one thing, that's writing code. If you're doing DS algo, in writing code, you'll be very good. And if you're doing it in a good way, then your code quality will also be very good. And the third thing is
yeah,
debugging. A lot of times, what happens is when you're giving a lead code, you're solving a problem in lead code or code forces, you end up getting a wrong answer, right? So what you do is you try to debug your code. So again, you get better at debugging as well. A lot of time you get time limit exceeded, so you always try to submit a problem which is absolutely optimal. So submit a solution which is absolutely optimal. So now when you get into the industry, you will always find like if you're in backend, not in front end, and generally if you're working in backend, you'll find scenarios where we do use data structures. We do use like I from the last 2 years, since
Okay.
I've been working, I've been using array list, linked list, hash maps. I've been continuously using to store datas. I've been like on day to day, I've also used once priority queue. So it's not like, yeah, you'll not use it daily, but you will use it. Now the other thing that I did find, when I did compare, like when I was working with at Amazon in my internship, when we were solving a problem, like solving a dev related problem. Now there was a
Okay.
problem, everyone gave a solution, but what I did differently was I gave a solution, and I also told ki this solution will be might have problem in these cases. Now those edge cases, why
Okay.
did that happen
Edge
to me?
cases.
Because when I do lead code or code forces, I always write a solution and I think kahan nahi chalega. And that happened
Mm-hmm.
at Amazon as well. When I was thinking ki okay, isko aise, let's do this way, I thought ki okay, ye karne se thoda time idhar kam jayega, ye fatega to ye
Mm-hmm.
dikkat hoga. That was very
Mm-hmm.
easily relatable to me. Whereas for other people, I had to explain them, right? And I'll give you one other significant difference. When I was working
Okay.
at Amazon, now you know Amazon does hire on the basis of a lead code, right? Everyone knows that. A lot of DS
Yeah.
algo questions are asked in Amazon. Now, when I was conversing with a lot of Amazon people at Amazon,
Okay.
I found that whatever I said, let's assume I got an approach and I told them, I had
Okay.
to explain them in very deep. Okay, this is what I'm thinking, level by level, level by level. I had to explain them in very, very deep, right? But when I
Okay.
moved on to direct eye, the interviews level of direct eye is very, very tough. So when
Okay.
I
Yeah. I
went
know.
over there, I just told them ki I'm thinking ki ye aisa hoga. This can be solved like this. And they were like, Acha, you're thinking that. The catching power, it was
Catching.
so
Yeah.
fast. I did not have to explain ki aise socho. That's the difference. We don't see it significantly, but trust me, it's a lot of difference that is over here, and that eventually comes up with time. And there's one other thing also that I'll always say: if you're doing a lot of competitive programming, there's a lot of self ability, like self belief. Like I always believe, like if I'm given a work, I always tell the manager that okay, hey, listen, I can do this by myself, I don't need anyone's help. Like that is a self belief only will come if you have always performed, and if you're giving a lot of contests, you have always performed. So given any project, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll see this. If I have a problem, I can take it up. So there's a lot of small factors which people do not notice, which helps an individual.
Yeah, absolutely. So just a small bit of information for the people. They are asking the questions on the comment section. So after we are done asking the basic frequently asked question, which were given by you, then we would move to the famous, the Ask Me Anything of Striver. That is the Google Sheet link is provided, and we would start catering the doubts. After just asking a couple of more queries, then we would move to your queries. So let us move to the next query. Is that suppose a person is a dancer, and in India we have that thing due to parents and all, we landed up in an engineering college, and we still don't want to leave that dancing career or filmmaking career or that thing. So suppose I want to know that what is the minimum time that is required so that I can prepare well for placements. So
Okay,
what's your
I think again, it's a very tough question. It will always depend from person to person. I have seen people saying ki couple of months and they prepared for placements. I've seen people saying 1 year is minimum needed. So it depends from person to person. Like if you're very like good enough, I think 3 to 4 months is more than enough. If you're good enough, if you're slow, then I think 6 7 months will be required, given that you have prior knowledge of basic data structure and algorithms. Basically, when I say
okay?
prepare for placements, uh, what are asked in the placements? What kind of rounds? does every company have? Let's talk in brief about every company. Now,
Yeah, let's do.
DS Algo is one of the rounds. The
Yeah,
other round is definitely projects, and the
yeah,
third one is the core subject. There are three, like on a very high level, there are three level of rounds that generally happens. There might be three or four DS rounds, one project round, and there'll be a round where they'll definitely ask you core subjects, object oriented programming. So let's first come to the DS Algo. Now, when I say DS
okay,
Algo, most of the companies, like 90% or 80% of the companies, do ask questions which have already been asked, which you'll find on Lead Code. So what I can say is probably you can pick any sheet that's on the market. You can pick up my sheet that goes by the name Strivus SD sheet. So you pick up that. Given that you know basic DSA, I'm assuming everyone, since you're in third or fourth year, you should be knowing basic DSA of stack. What is a stack? What is a queue?
yeah,
What is recursion? You should be knowing that. You'll pick up the Strivus SD sheet. There's around 180 questions. So even if you do three
okay,
questions a day, or four questions a day, you'll finish that sheet in a couple of months or 3 months. Now, in 3 months, you will end up doing a lot of conceptual questions, which
yeah,
covers a lot of algorithms. So in 3 or 4 months, if you do 200, again, when I say 200 questions, it doesn't mean ki chalo koi bhi 200 utha. 200 means pick up the exact 200 questions which covers all the different level of concepts, algorithms, right? Like if I say Dijkstra, that should be covered. If I say monotonous stack, next great element, that should be covered. If I'm saying dynamic programming, then the concepts of longest common subsequence, knapsack, all these kind of MCM, all these concepts should be covered. So make sure if you're solving 200 problems, 200 problems must cover all the concepts. That should be the main criteria. Just don't go on
mhm,
solving 400 problems on a blank eye. Solve problems
okay,
which touches all the concepts that are generally asked in interviews. Okay, so you can do that in 3 or 4 months. Once you have done that,
okay,
the other thing is project.
okay,
Now, I've seen a lot of
okay,
people not doing a lot of projects. So for them, what I will
okay,
recommend is either you can pick up any of the courses going on the market, you can learn some tech stack, or you can learn from docs. Like there's a lot of official
okay,
docs or YouTube videos.
yeah,
Wherever you feel like, learn some tech stack, right?
okay,
And whenever someone does teach you a tech stack, they will be doing a side project with that. So
yeah, yeah, yeah,
use that side project to get habituated to that tech stack. Once you are done, then probably think of a problem statement that you generally see. Probably think of a random famous problem statement and try to create something, be it machine learning, be it backend development, front end development, full stack. Try to create a project, and this should hardly take you around 1 month to 2 months, depending on what level of projects you are doing. Like for me, I did invest, I think, 45 days because I felt I was good in DSL algo. So I did, okay, if I do a simple project that
quite
will work.
confident.
If you, yeah, if you think that you're not good enough at DSA, then probably you have to do a couple of very, very good projects. So you have to spend a bit more time. So that's another couple of months, so 3 plus to 5 months. And again, the last thing comes around is DBMS. It's very, very important. People like me, people there are a lot of people like me who just keep on doing CP, DS algo, and they do not focus on DBMS, operating system, and computer networks. And it's not a promotion. Like I'm saying this from heart that I did my DBMS, operating system, computer networks, from Sandeep sir's lectures. It's absolutely great. Like I did make notes and I still revise from them if I have an
I too
interview. Like I
did
don't
that.
have an interview. Yeah, it's very, very good. So
Yeah,
I did that. I did from that. So it took me around 1 month to complete all of those things. So that is what you can do, and that will take you 1 month. DBMS, uh, computer networks, operating system. These three things,
okay,
please make sure do not ignore, because I've seen super duper candid masters. I've seen masters. I've seen 6-star rated coders getting rejected in interviews because their fundamentals are not good, and I have also been rejected in some startups because I was not able to answer SQL queries and all these stuffs. So please make sure you do that. And after that, that's done. So, and one other thing which people do not do is object oriented programming. Try to
okay,
do object oriented programming. Don't do it in much depth, but do it in such a way that you have a fair bit of idea.
okay.
Okay.
So, not the core subjects. Suppose I'm doing DSA, and then I have done a quite good level of DSA, and only the advanced data structures or something is left. So, how many months should be allocated for that core subject? So, when should I start preparing? And when I don't know anything about core subject from my college?
Just a minute.
Yeah, sure.
I think 1 month, 10 days of vigorous study. Like just keep on watching videos, make notes. Keep on watching videos, make notes. I think 10 days for all the three subjects. 30 days at max should be more than enough. And probably you can pick up Sandeep sir's videos. It's well structured, and you can just keep on watching them. And whatever Sandeep sir teaches, generally in interviews, people do not ask questions outside of that. There should
Okay.
be one. Don't spend more than 1 month. Then it will be an absolute way. Don't prepare like you're preparing for gate. Just prepare for like if you're just for doing for placements, try to just prepare the famous questions. Those are asked around 50 questions of every subject that are asked. You can just Google famous operating system interview questions. You'll get 50 questions. Just keep on doing them and have your basics clear.
Okay.
Fundamentals go if you're keeping your fundamentals clear, even if they mold the question, you'll be able to answer it.
Okay. 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 So fundamental should be clear.
Some people are asking Sandeep sir's channel name. Sandeep sir is the CEO of the YouTube channel that you're watching.
Okay. So people know you a lot. Seems that. Okay. So let's now talk about the thing which many people cry over. Some people enjoy over this thing, and some people are happy with. So okay, so let's talk about this. Yeah. So how do you think? What's your stake on this diversity hiring in India?
Yes, this is a very very controversial topic. I think diversity hiring
So,
is something which companies do, which boys absolutely do not like. How many in the chat sections are against the diversity hiring? Can I get a yes on the chat section if you're
let's
against it?
see.
Let's see how many are against it.
Yeah, let's see. Quickly reply.
Okay, let's. I think the chat is.
A
We
little bit
have. I
delayed.
think yeah, it's a bit delayed. I think everyone will give you like yes. Everyone is against it, and I am also
Same.
against it. Everyone. I think
Everyone is against it.
it's bad. Uh, I think yeah, should be hard on the talent basis. I've always been an advocate of that. That diversity hiring is something which should not be done. But again, if you get into the industry, uh, from a boy's point of view, once you get the job, you'll be like, "Eh, मेरे team में लड़की क्यों नहीं है?" Every one of you who
Yeah.
gets into a software engineering job, like, will say this, and so I think we can't do anything for that. Because that is something which companies do focus on a lot nowadays because they feel
Nowadays.
that they have to maintain the gender ratio to have people motivated to come to office or probably motivated to work. I'm not sure what's the thought process behind that. They probably they don't want to make the work culture toxic because if there are 10 boys working in a team, the work culture does become a bit toxic. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. Yeah.
one of the reasons. The other reason being they want to promote girls getting in, but again, the cost of talent is something which I'll never advocate. And for boys, the only thing that I can say is we can't do anything. We can't do anything. So the only thing we can do is let's be good enough so that जो भी 10% हायर कर रहे हैं आजकल बॉयज को उस 10% में हम लोग आ जाए. We can't do anything. That's what I will always like. As I say, we can cry, but let's not sit back and cry. Let's be good enough कि we make it to the remaining 10% or remaining whatever percent they're hiring.
जो सत्य है वो बदल नहीं सकता.
That's it.
Yeah. So let's start with the session because people are trying to do that. So let's start with the Ask Me Anything session. And this question has been asked by Sairaj Mani. Okay. So his question is that how to get proper communication skills. Any suggestive practice? This is also very important from my point of view too.
Yeah, that's a good question. So nowadays, if I go back and watch my first YouTube video, I'm like, यार क्या बोल रहा है? कैसे बोल रहा है English? You don't even know. There's a lot of there's a lot of dogs barking from your back. You might
Yeah,
be.
let me just I would be on mute.
Yeah, you can put yourself on mute. No, that's fine. So if I go back and watch my first YouTube video, I'm like, yeah, कैसे इंग्लिश बोलता है. And even I know after a couple of years when I come back and watch this webinar, I'll be like, क्या ही बोल रहा था. So it always happens with you. With time, you will eventually grow, but the thing is, you have to do stuffs to make yourself grow. And if you are in college, I'll always recommend you go and speak to juniors and try to speak as much as like try to speak in English as much as you can so that the communication skills develop. Now, don't be an introvert who just sits back at the room. Go out, speak out with juniors. The more you speak, the more confidence you will get. That's one of the things. Try to teach them if possible. Like in my case, from my second year to third year to fourth year, I was always up there to take up classes at my coders club. So you can try that out. The other thing that I always recommend people is to watch a lot of English news channels. Nowadays news channels are shit, so you can ignore that. Probably you can watch a lot of podcasts are there which happens in English. You can watch them. I do watch a lot of Netflix movies on English. I've seen people so lazy that they turn on the Hindi audio and they watch Netflix English wala version in Hindi audios. Don't do that. Try to have subtitles on and watch it in English. Again, that will help you. Probably, if you're thinking you're not able to frame words while speaking, you can order newspaper at your home every morning. Go through the newspaper. There's a lot of vocabulary that increases if you read the newspapers. The best thing is watch as much series as possible in English. Without knowing, you will develop. The other thing is, if if you can stand in front of the mirror. I used to do this a lot. Stand in front of the mirror and probably speak something. Take a topic, speak that. Like for me, it's always been YouTube videos. I put the camera on. I try to speak. I try to take a lot of takes. So the camera is a mirror for me. For you also, you can do the same thing. You can just stand in the front of the mirror and try to speak probably on a particular topic or something like that. Try to speak as much as possible in English. The next thing is uh, people running away from English lectures. I absolutely hate it. From the first day I have been teaching in English, and people are like, Hindi mein kyun nahi padhate? I always say people ki stop being in your comfort zone. If you always stay in your comfort zone, there's going to be a problem. Matlab, people are so lazy that they will tell me कि आप हिंदी में क्यों नहीं पढ़ाते, rather than they getting up to that level that they can understand English. The reason I teach in English is because if I teach in English, let's assume I'm explaining something. There is a lot of words that I use in explaining. You can take those words and if that question is asked to you in an interview, forget about that question. Whatever question is asked to you in an interview, you can use the words that I generically use while explaining, and you can actually explain the problem in a much better way rather than you explaining. I think that this array I move. So like if you give an interview like that, trust me, people will not select you. You have to be dominating. Like you have to be so dominating that the interviewer will be thinking, "ये जो बोल रहा है सही बोल रहा होगा." There are cases when the interviewer does not knows the solution that you're saying, but it's your confidence, it's your belief that makes him believe that this solution is correct, and then the interviewer lets you go and he clears you. But at that same moment, if you're trembling with the English, तुम सही से नहीं बोल पा रहे हो, you're not able to probably give your thought process, and even if you're able to solve the problem, he will reject you. And please get out of your comfort zones and try to watch as many as English videos as possible. Please do that. I know it's not mandatory, but you have to know English. And the only reason you have to know English is because let's assume you have a job in any of the companies. Most of the companies are located in Bangalore, right? Or Hyderabad for that reason. If you go to Bangalore, even the auto wallahs do not understand Hindi. You have to tell them in English, right? And like I was a part in the team that I was part in Amazon had everyone like almost 80% of people were from South India. They do not understand Hindi. Every documentation, every meeting that I had was in English. So if you are not good in English, it will be very difficult for you to survive in the industry.
So, yeah, so apart from all the exercises or the points you told to follow, I think the people would be most fascinated by the Netflix point or that movie's point. So,
Right.
can you give them some examples or some movie suggestions from where they can start on?
No, there's nothing
Some
like
good
movie
web series
suggestions.
from you.
I did watch Breaking Bad completely, Money Heist completely, and then Elite. I did watch Elite. Elite is very good in terms of English. Even Money Heist is very good, and Breaking Bad. I think these three are personal favorites. and then
Okay.
you can decide. There's one more thing: How to Get Away with Murder. Don't do a murder, but it's a good series. It's a 6 season series. Again, the English used over there is I did find it very good. And with time, try to turn off the subtitles so that you start understanding it much better. With time, like initially when I started, every Netflix series that I did watch was with subtitles on. But nowadays, I do not turn on the subtitles. I just watch it in pure English, and I do understand every bit of it. Try to do this.
Okay. So that's from my personal side. How many seasons did you complete of Money Heist? How many seasons?
I I completed the entire Breaking Bad, the entire Money Heist, the entire Elite, the entire How to Get Away with Murder. If I start a series, I make sure I complete it. I'm very I think this happens with everyone. If you're watching one episode, you're like, और एक देख लेता हूँ, और एक देख लेता हूँ ना क्या हो जाएगा, और एक देख लेता हूँ, and suddenly if you just wake up
The
and you
whole
see the
night
clock,
passes away.
whole night passes and the clock is around 7 o'clock in the morning. So it does
Yeah.
happen with me, but but yeah, that's I watch. If I watch something, I make sure I watch it entirely.
Okay. So let's move forward. But still, that's a request that don't do so much binge watching. Yeah. So let's move to the next question. Okay. So this is a question. So I'm currently in my third year. So can I continue CP? Because day by day I'm loving it. So
If
let's
you're loving it, why do you want to? Why do you not want to continue it? If you're loving it, please make sure you continue it. Even if you're not able to give a lot of time to learn new algorithms, make sure you give every contest. Whoever I meet, wherever I do a podcast, wherever I do a webinar, I always say one thing. When you say you're doing CP, that means every contest in a year you should be giving. You might miss contests due to semesters, but don't miss a contest because you're going to watch out a movie. Then you're not doing CP. Don't miss a contest because you're enjoying Christmas. Sorry, don't miss a contest if you're enjoying Christmas. Please make sure every contest you should be giving, and that's what CP is. And if you're not giving time to learn, it's okay. Because in third year, I'll always recommend you to slightly shift your focus to lead code and learn the different concepts, because a lot of time, for an example, questions like find duplicates, uh, uh, find duplicates. There's a lot of questions where you see, okay, we'll do this like this. Like for an example, sort an arrays of zeros, ones, and twos.
yeah,
Every
yeah.
time, like when I did competitive programming, I was like, क्या ही पूछ रहा है Amazon में sort an arrays of zeros, ones, and two. Zero, I'll count zeros, I'll count ones, I'll count twos, and I'll place it in the array. I was like this. I know solution, and eventually, when I did lead code, I found that okay, it doesn't happen like that, because that's basically one complete traversal to count, then another complete traversal to again fill it up. So that is something which is not expected in an interview. In an interview, there's this Dutch national flag algorithm that is being used. So if you're from CP background, you'll not know these algorithms. So please make sure in third year and fourth year, watch out DS algos, do the Traverse SG sheet, do a lot of lead code questions, and make sure whenever you are submitting a lead code question, even if it's accepted, even if it's accepted with 100% fast, please make sure go to the discussion forum, sort by votes, watch out the first couple of solutions to get an idea what is the most optimal solution. Please do that.
So that's so a CP guy should know that all algorithms like how to find loop in a linked list, how what is the starting point of a loop. These are questions they need to know.
True, true.
Okay, so let's quickly move to the next question so that we can answer a lot of questions. So next question is very much interesting. So how to stay motivated while studying data structures and algorithms?
Again, how did I stay motivated? I'll
Yeah.
I'll say something which will be relatable to a lot of audience. Whenever you feel ki I am not willing to do, just sit back and think, what if you don't do? And the moment you start thinking what if you don't, you'll be like, नहीं नहीं पढ़ लेता हूँ, अभी पढ़ लेता हूँ. That will happen to you, because for me, what happened was I always thought कि okay, let's do. And whenever I felt कि यार I'm not getting a lot of opportunities, नहीं बन रहा है, I always thought कि what after my graduation, if I'm not able to get into some good company with a good package, I'll be at some smaller company. It's not bad to be at a smaller company, but again, that is something. I'll not be able to fulfill my dreams. Like I'll be at Bangalore with a salary of 25,000 per month, out of which I have to give 10,000 to the PG, and there will be 5,000 for personal expenses. There will be 10,000 left. I'm saving 10,000 per month without giving it to my family. So even if I save 10,000 per month for, even if I save for 5 years, I'll not be able to save a lot that I can even buy a iPhone. So or I can send some money to my home. So or I can probably buy my home. So you think of those things and you will get motivated internally. Got it. So whenever you think you're not wanting to do something, think about the future. It's going to be very bad if you don't work hard today. Think about that. खुद ही शुरू हो जाएगा काम.
So you just mathematically calculated all your future things, and yeah, so how much I would be saving, how much I would be spending, and what all things I can afford. So
That's
yeah,
no, that's true now. That's true
yeah,
now.
that's a very
25,000,
practical
30,000.
approach.
Right.
Very much practical approach. Okay, so let's move to the next question. Is that what is the roadmap if someone is starting from third year?
Or if the roadmap is someone is starting from third year. Again, I think this is a
Yeah.
repeated question. As I said, it's a very simple one. Just make sure if you are starting with third year, don't get into the CP stuff, because instead of CP, try to do lead code, pick up the SDE sheet if you wish to pick up, complete the SDE sheet. If you don't know basic DSA, again, learn basic DSA from YouTube or wherever you wish to. And after that, just pick up the SDE sheet, complete it completely. Once you complete it, you will understand that you have a lot of concepts under your belt. And after that, just keep on doing the core subjects, prepare some projects, and then I think you're good to go. Don't get into CP in your third year. What do DSA completely, be prepared, and after that you can start giving contests at lead code. Probably if you have time, you can give contests at code forces. But first priority should be completing DSA concepts, algorithms, and every stuff.
Okay, so that was a kind of repetitive question. Let's move
Yeah.
to a different question. What is more focused in a resume? Company experience or college projects?
I think again, this depends on what level you are currently. Now, if you are in if you are in a, what to say, if you are an experienced guy, uh, company experience will matter. Let's say you are someone who is working in a service based
Hmm.
company, then you will not have a great company experience, because service based company is not considered as a great company experience. So in that case, you have to make sure you make good projects on your side. Okay, like for me,
Hmm.
as I was working with direct eye, so the company name is quite big enough, so I did not make any side projects. My company projects did help, like that was more than enough. I just put that these are the company projects that I did, and this is the impact that I've done in the company for the 1 year, correct? And if you are in your college, then company's experience will not matter. Internship will matter only if you have done some significant work, right? So
Hmm.
do not focus on like make sure you do projects if you are not good enough with DSA. That's the whole point.
Okay, so that was so the next question is a little bit big, but I found it very interesting. So I'm very bad at implementing my thoughts into code, implementing logic in a simple way, and I'm unable to solve any new question or to recognize similar pattern question. How can I improve? Thoughts to code.
I think the problem with people is people don't solve questions in a pattern manner. Like for an example, I have seen people doing next greater element. I'll take this example. In stacks, I've seen people taking next greater element. Okay? And what they do is they just learn next greater element and leave it. The way to learn next greater element is learn next greater element completely. Okay, and then probably Google questions related to next greater element or monotonous stack for that reason, and you'll find 10 to 15 problems in lead code. Do those 10 15 problems line by line, so you'll start observing a pattern in which those questions are approached similarly. If you are doing dynamic programming, try to pick up knapsack, learn how to do knapsack, and on that pattern try to do all the problems that are related to knapsack. right? Similarly, if you are doing something like graphs, pick up Dijkstra's algorithm and try to do all the problems that are related to Dijkstra. Similarly, if you're doing disjoints at union, try to pick up disjoints at union. Just do not do disjoints at union. Try to do 10, 15 problems from lead code. So the more number of problems that you do on a concept basically makes you comfortable with that, and the next time if a similar question comes up, you will be easily able to identify. But if you just do DSU and you do not do 10, 15 follow-up problems from lead code on that, then if I'm giving you a random question, you'll not be able to identify it. You'll only be able to identify it if you have done 10, 15 different problems on the same concept. Then your brain starts thinking in all the possible directions, right? So that's the one thing that you should always do in order to identify pattern related questions. And how about implementing your thoughts into code? That is something which you have to write codes. I have seen people doing this. People write codes, and what people do is people know the solution, but people are so lazy. People are like, चलो discussion forum से copy paste मार के let's submit it. And they'll be like, अरे मुझे तो पता है क्या है, कौन लिखेगा कोड, चलो copy paste मार के let's submit it. And people do this, and people are not good enough. So in order to be good enough in coding, just make sure write every code. Even if you are seeing my code or anyone's code, see that code and write it yourself. Don't just see left right. No, see it completely. Okay, this is how he has done, now I'll write mine. Write it on yourself, and that's how you slowly and slowly will improve.
Okay, so the next question is not properly framed, but still, it seems that it goes straight from the heart. So the next question was, so many interviews were done, but not selected. Any tips to improve?
Okay, so many interviews done, but not selected. Again, you have to introspect. I'm not sure about how is your resume looking. So you have to make sure that you have to introspect. What are you lacking? Because a lot of times it happens that you go and give an interview, and after that, what you think is कि मेरा तो interview it did went well, but still the interview rejected me. But actually, there's a lot of other reasons why you get rejected. One of the primary reasons is you write very bad code. I've seen people writing code which is absolutely like the competitive programming kind of codes. Like they use so many variables. They do not put things in functions. They write a lengthy code in a function. Now people don't focus on this, but trust me, most of the rejections happens if you're solving a problem. A lot of times rejections do happen if your code quality is absolutely bad. So please, I always tell people to write codes in functions, as many functions as possible. Do not write repetitive lines of code. There's a lot of other practices that you have to follow. That's one thing. The other thing why people get rejected is not being able to communicate what they think. So as the other reason why they get rejected, uh, you know the solution, but you're not able to communicate. So while you're giving an interview, the interview does not only gives you a clearance if you're able to solve the problem. There's a lot of other reasons why they give you a clearance. The first of them being is solving the problem, the second being communication skills, code quality. Why do people judge you on communication skills? Because if your communication skills are not good enough, the next day when you get into the company, when you're in the team meeting, if you're thinking something, you'll not be able to communicate. So what's the point of having a talented guy who cannot even speak out his approach? That's why please work on these things, and don't think so much. Don't over introspect. Don't overthink. Just keep follow the process. Like I'm a big fan of Dhoni always says this, that follow the process, everything else will take care of itself. Just follow the process. That's what I'll say.
But still, all the best to him or her. So let's proceed to the next question. So, as a fresher from electrical engineering background, how can I approach companies?
How can I
Approach
approach
companies.
companies? I think if
Yeah.
you're from electrical engineering background, first of all, you have to make your resume in such a way that the recruiters or wherever you're interviewing in the company, they are actually interested in interviewing you. That's the first step, right? So if you're from a branch which is non-computer, I'll always recommend you to do computer science related projects. Try to do a lot of full stack, backend, front end, machine, whichever field you're preferring. Try to do a lot of projects, because that is something that will attract the recruiters that okay, even if this guy is not from this field, he has made sure that he has done something related to this field, he has knowledge about this field, right? To do that, the other thing that you have to do is make sure you do a lot of DSA, so that that is also visible to the recruiter, that even if they give you an interview, you will be able to clear it. But the main stuff will be, if you're from some non-computer background, projects will be the key to attract the recruiter.
Yeah. So that was good. So let's proceed. So the next question is how to get ideas for unique projects, not the same old course projects.
Again, and that's why they are called unique, right? Because if everyone would get the idea, then how will be it an unique project? For unique projects, it's always you're going around like for me, it was always like I used to like whenever I go out, I see a lot of problems being there, right, in the market. So probably try to fix them. There's a lot of problems going into the market, right? So just pick up some problem and try to. That's a unique project idea. Whatever you do in day to day life, if you're feeling that okay, this is a problem in my day to day life, probably you can try fixing them. That's what that's what a unique project is basically. Someone has
And it
given you a
can't.
super chat. Someone has given you a super chat to ask a question.
Okay, let's see. Um, what is the
It's
question itself?
Pratik
Okay,
Kaur.
yeah, Pratik Kaur. I have, let's display this. So just let us display this and then we will, just a sec. Yeah. So his question is, I have Amazon SD2 online text next Saturday. Please guide me, sir. I will do as you, sir. I'm 2020 pass out, 1 year of experience in Accenture.
I am not sure how did you get that Amazon SD2 uh interview call. Please make sure it's not a it's not a fake call, because nowadays a lot of times you will get calls for Amazon SD2, and because they do send out, even they did send out the mail to that I think Adobe or Microsoft किसी का someone's CEO, they did send out the mail for Amazon SD2. So please confirm that it's an SD2 opening or not, because ideally if you're from 2020, you have to have a minimum of 24 months or 20 months, 24 months experience in order to be able to interview at Amazon SD2, and that also you're in Accenture. So if you're in Accenture, I'm not sure how they're allowing you as an SD2. So please make sure the test is real, because if you give the online test, they'll reject you and you will have a 6 months cool down period. So please reconfirm from the recruiter, because जो भी mail आता है SD2 के लिए, it's randomly thrown to people. So please be careful about that.
So that's a statutory warning from your side. So let's move forward. The next question is that I'm afraid for DSA programming. How to resolve it?
I'm afraid of DSA programming. How to solving problems. Like these questions are
How to
uh,
resolve it?
how to resolve it. See, the more you have to keep on doing more problems. Try to probably pick up some sites. So GFG for basics, you'll find a lot of basic questions on GFG. Go to GFG's practice. You'll find a lot of basic questions. If you're afraid, I'm assuming you have just started. So try doing a lot of basic problems as much as possible. Don't jump into tougher questions, because what happens is people tend to start with tougher questions, and then they are like, oh man, DSA is so hard. First have your fundamentals clear. Try to do a lot of questions, basic, just have basic tag, easy tag on GFG, and try to do as many questions as possible, until unless you're feeling like, yeah, this question kya hi question hai. Till you don't feel that, keep on doing basic questions, and slowly it will take time, but DSA is all about patience.
Okay, so let's move to the next question. So, is masters required to get entry roles in bank in positions like Azure, edge computing? These all. What's your
uh,
take on this?
I don't have a specific idea about that, but again, if you're doing a master's, generally what I've seen is, even if you do a master's, you still get the same role. at least in all these fan level companies. It's in Google you'll get the L3, in Amazon you'll get the L4. So you still get the same package as bachelors do get. So I'm not sure about Azure and Edge computing, so I'll not comment about that.
Okay, so the next question that is coming is, I have below 57% in 12 and 7.8 CGPA in BTech. Can I get good job?
The 12 percentage is a big issue because in a lot of companies, they do write that they need 60% and above. So in some companies, you will have problems in appearing. So you have to be careful about that. And about 7.8 SGPA, that's okay. I had 7.4 or 7.5 when I did get my job. So it's okay. As long as you have greater than 7, it will work. For some companies, it's greater than 8, but yeah, most of the companies, it's greater than 7. It might not work if there are limited roles, but yeah, most more or less 7.8 is a good one. Try to just take it above 8.
So the next question, you would be amused a lot. So the next question is a kind of surprise for you. भैया मेल का रिप्लाई क्यों नहीं देते? मेल का भी
Mm.
नहीं देते.
I get a lot of mails, man. I don't have so much. To be very honest, I have a lot of mails nowadays. I've just like I have delinked my mail IDs from my phone because even my Instagram account I've turned on the notifications off because I used to get a lot of text and it tends to hamper my work because every time if I have the
Yeah,
phone in my side and suddenly the mail pops up or the Instagram messages or the Telegram, so it tends to disturb me. So what I've done is I've just delinked all the mail accounts. I just have my personal mail account over here and the company's mail account, and even the Instagram notifications are off. And if I go to sleep, I get some time and I just check out the messages. That's what I have, because yeah, I have a full time job and then I take a lot of sessions nowadays. So please understand.
yeah. I hope people would understand your priorities and your busy schedule. So let's move to the next question. Is that, is internship important?
It's not. It's not. As long see, as long as you are able to cover it up, it's okay. Like, why to do an internship? Because you want to tell the company that, hey, listen, I have experience in so and so field, or I have some pre-company experience. That's why internship is. So even if you don't get an internship, it's absolutely okay. Just make sure you cover that up by making some really, really good projects. Because if you have good projects, uh, it covers up the internship. So it's okay to not have an internship. I personally did not have a software engineering internship when I was interviewing with media.net. After that, I got Amazon, but yeah, when I started interviewing, I did not have a software engineering internship.
Ah, okay, fair enough. So the next question is a very different one. I'm very bad at coding. Is there any chances to get placed with high package, even in non-tech companies as well?
Yeah, why not? See, life is not all about coding, man. There's a lot of other job profiles that you can always prefer. So just try exploring that. There's a lot of other job profiles who do pay well, right? So it's not key. Yeah, I do agree that in India, coding is one of the higher uh, paid professions. But it's not the end of the world. There's a lot of other job roles.
Yeah.
So you can probably look around them.
Okay. So the next question would be a query for many Tier 3 students. How to find when there is an opening in a company?
I did tell about this in a lot of videos. I'll again repeat that. So always, whenever you are in your third year, fourth year, try to have a look around the LinkedIn. Like for an example, everyone knows in India that Amazon does hire in October, November for that 6 months internship. Everyone knows, right? Similarly, everyone knows Google starts hiring from September, October for full time. Similarly, everyone knows that Zeta and all other companies has for 6 months interns in November, December. So you have to keep a track of it, and just make sure if you're in third year, second year, keep a track of LinkedIn. Like, let's say it's not your placement year, but still keep a track. Okay, this company is hiring now. So in whenever my turn comes up, it will be almost the same timeline, probably 1 month here and there, and try exploring, try connecting with people from those companies, so that whenever your turn comes in, if that company is hiring, you'll be able to look around. But the main stuff is you have to be looking for that. So try to connect with as many people on LinkedIn as possible of multiple companies. Like just send requests to Amazon, Microsoft, Flipkart, Swiggy, Zomato, Grofers, whichever company you see, Uber. Just keep on sending them requests, and if there is an opening, they generally tend to post on their LinkedIn.
Okay, so we need to keep a track and then create a timeline that this is the point where companies would start hiring. This is the point where Amazon would start hiring. This is the point where Google
Absolutely
starts hiring.
true.
Okay, so let's move to the next question, which many beginners face. How to approach recursion questions.
Ah, good one, good one. So for recursion, I'll always say try to write recursive codes. Try from basic, and whenever you write recursive codes, try to draw the entire flow of the program. That's the best thing. Try to draw the entire flow of the program and try to catch patterns. Generally, recursion is all about patterns. If you're able to catch patterns and recursive problems, you'll be able to implement it. It can't be that you will just go and write recursive uh, solutions. There are patterns to recursions. So there are around, I think, 10 to 12 different patterns. You have to catch them. Once you catch all of those patterns, you will be able to solve those problems. So try to do recursive questions pattern wise, and once you've done pattern wise, you should be able to take it off. So that's off. Okay, so that was back.
Yeah, yeah. So my mom was calling. Yeah. So let's move to
Sure.
the next question. Is that how to shift from service-based companies to product-based companies?
Uh, Good one. It's as simple as it can get. Projects. Whenever you are in your service-based company, apart from your day-to-day office life, take some time out in the night or probably whenever at weekends, and try to create projects on the popular tech stacks that are going around in the market. Probably Java, Spring, Django, Node, whichever you feel like that you're willing to do a project. Try to do individual projects on your sidelines, and along with that, try to prepare DSA. Once you have individual projects on your sidelines and you're good enough at DSA, then start appearing for interviews. People are gonna definitely interview you, because there's a need of engineers in the product based company. So people will give you interviews, and if you're good enough, you'll make it. There's nothing like if you're from service based, people are not gonna interview you. Just make sure you have projects in your resume, so that you can tell that, hey, listen, I belong to a service base, but I made sure I did learn a lot of skills on my free time.
Okay, so you need to work hard apart from your work. So
True.
let's move to the next question. So the next question is that what is the go-to language to learn DSA?
Okay. Uh, Again, there's nothing like a go-to language. You can pick up any language as you wish. If this was CP, I would have said to you that probably try C++. But if you're just doing DSA, you can pick up Java, you can pick up C++, you can pick up Python. Primarily, these three are the languages. Generally, all the articles, all the videos that you'll find over the YouTube or probably GFGs or any other blog sites will be having C++ as well as Java solutions. Python solutions might be missing. So probably C++ or Java, anyone you can select, and whichever language you're selecting there in your future, there's absolutely going to be like there will be no problem. Like for me, I did my entire DSS CP in C++ throughout my college, and then I went to the company and I'm working with Java. So it's not a big deal, because इंग्लिश में बोलो, हिंदी में बोलो, इंग्लिश में बोलो, किसी में भी बोलो, कोई भी लैंग्वेज में बोलो, मतलब तो एक ही होता है. So it's more of syntax
Yeah.
based. So it's not. And Java you have to write a bit more, and C++ you tend to write a bit lesser. That's the only advantage. Apart from that, you can do anyone as you wish to.
So the next question seems that he has already cleared the coding round, and now the next round of him is his HR round. So let's answer him too, so that we can cool him down.
How to prepare for HR round? I think the simple answer is be yourself. That's it. Be yourself, and always be yes. Whatever she asks, that's it. He or she, whatever she's asking, he or she, make sure you say yes. That's the thumb rule of an HR round. Don't piss off the HR. Otherwise, you are gone. Don't prepare anything. Just read out some HR questions of those companies, and whatever she's saying. Are you willing to relocate? Yes. Are you willing to adjust? Yes. Are you willing to whatever? Yes. 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 That's it.
Okay, so you need to agree upon everything that is said.
Exactly. Apart from
Okay,
the
the boss is always
if
right.
there's if there is a scope of negotiation in compensation, don't agree. Then present your thoughts, whatever salary you're looking for. Just tell them this is what I'm looking for.
Okay, okay. So you should get what you deserve.
Right.
So let's move to the next question. How to stay motivated? If I gave a contest and I got a very less rank, which I don't deserve. I deserve a very good rank, but still I got a very less rank.
Uh, the best thing is don't focus on a lot of ranks. That's why I always say give all the contest as much as possible, because the moment you start giving every contest, you the ranks will not matter to you, because you'll always be like, okay, today I got lesser rank. Next day I'm definitely going to get a better rank. That's what is going to happen every day. So don't just judge yourself from one contest. It's okay. It should always be like, okay, tomorrow there's a couple of days after a couple of days there's going to be one more contest. I'll do better in that. That's it.
Okay, so that seems like we are having a rapid fire round. So you want to, so anything that you suppose I found a pattern that this is the problem that many people face. So what you found till now, many questions were asked. So what is the thing that you found common in everyone?
Everyone wanting to do well, but everyone not wanting to give a lot of time. That's what is very common among freshers. I see everyone wanting to get into fang level, fang type of companies, but when I ask them to do so and so, they're like, "Kal lenge yaar, kal kar lenge." So that's the other thing is people tend to have this FOMO a lot. Now, when I say fear of FOMO is basically fear of missing out. If I say them, hey, go and do 180 questions, they will do. And if suddenly someone else comes up and says, hey, do this, they'll be like, okay, मैं ये कर रहा हूँ, but if I don't do this, I'll definitely miss out. So every now and then, they do not stick to a particular path. They always think that अच्छा ये करने से better होगा, ये करने से better होगा. They just keep on switching from here and there, and in this way, they keep on wasting their time a lot. So that's what is happening to the current generation. There's so much opinions across the market that they are not sure what to do. That is what I've found common. So
So
what I'll always say is just pick up a path, follow it. Don't follow so many opinions. If you feel that if a path looks good to you, just go across that. Don't again take a counter opinion.
so they shouldn't be distracted so much, and action. They should be doing action rather than just talking and asking. Okay, so let's move to the next question. Is that how to develop confidence during the interviews that I can crack that particular interview? This is also very
The
important.
best way, the best way is to read interview experiences. Like for me, what I did was if I had an Amazon interview, uh, last 3 days, what I did was I just read every interview experience at GFG. I think I read around 150 interview experiences at GFG. That is what I did 3 days before my Amazon interview. Why? Just to make myself feel okay. I can. Because the more you read interview experiences, अच्छा ये पूछा था, ये तो हो गया, ये पूछा था, okay, I can, yes, I can. So the more you read interview experiences, you get that inner confidence that okay, whatever they're asking, I'm able to answer it. So you are more confident when you visit a particular interview. And the other thing is, don't read interview experiences. Just take it as a contest and go. They're gonna throw me a question. If I am able to solve, it's fine. Otherwise, not.
Okay, so you should be well prepared and you should be kind of having that thing. So
So
let's move to the next question. The next question is a bit different. I graduated 5 years ago and haven't worked since then. How do I get started in IT?
Mm. Very a question which I cannot answer because I have never met someone who has graduated 5 years back, and I am not sure if bigger companies will take you, but yeah, some startups will take you if you have got the skills. So probably you can start learning some skills, do some freelance work, slowly and slowly get into the groove of uh, IT industry. Once you got into the groove, probably approach some startups and get a job. Once you get a job, try to gain some experience, and after that, you can move into the industry. But not working for 5 years and then getting back into the industry is going to be very, very tough.
Yeah, absolutely. But hope he gets there. So
Yeah,
he all the best to him. So next question is how to impress the interviewer when you don't know the answer.
you can't. I'm not sure how will you. You have to try. See, if you are not able to solve the question, but even if you are able to probably come near about the solution, that means you have to try. Say it's not about knowing the answer. That's what you're being tested, right? Can you solve the question which you don't know the answer? So you have to think. Just think about different test cases. Ask him or her, and then slowly and slowly go through the answers and everything, and just take your time, just take your time in solving that problem. Don't think that you don't know the answer so you cannot answer. There will be questions which you don't know, but that's the point of the interview. Can you solve it on that point of time? So just focus on solving it rather than impressing. If you're able to solve the question in some way or the other, he or she will get impressed. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, while in the process of trying, he might solve it. So
Yes.
so I could not crack any internship. So should I focus purely on placement or do an internship at early age startup?
I will recommend you if you were not able to crack an internship. So my like what I did was I was also not able to crack any internship. I made sure I do a lot of DSA, and so that whenever I get one chance, I make it count. So that should be your first priority. Prepare yourself in such a way that whenever that one chance comes up, you're able to grab it with both the hands. And the other thing is, should you focus purely on placement or internship? See, if you are getting an internship, always do it, but don't just run behind getting an internship. If you're getting it, it's okay, but don't just spend your time in just finding an internship. Okay, prepare for placements because that is what is going to ultimately matter. And for internship, if you haven't got it, that's okay, just make some projects and that should do. I'll have
So
20 minutes more, so let's take some more questions.
yeah, sure. So the next, so just yeah, so the next question is how to prepare a good final year project in just 2 months.
The best way is uh, learn some tech stack, and that probably from docs you can learn it, or probably you can pick up some, as I said, some course, and complete the course in as soon as possible. Once you've completed it, you will have a minor project from that course. Then use that tech stack probably to build some project, have some problem statement, and try to build some project. And that should be the way. Don't just try start building of the project without knowing a tech stack. Try to know the tech stack a bit, whatever tech stack. Even if you're doing Django,
Okay,
try to do
okay,
a smaller project to get familiar with Django. Once you're familiar with it,
okay,
then you can start your bigger project, right? Or else,
okay.
if you're able to find a course which has a very big project with it, I think that project will also work. But you have to find a course which has an absolutely big project on it, or probably someone who's or probably someone who has done a project among your seniors. Ask him to tell you stuffs, or these are the ways that you can make a project. Like there's no hard and fast rule that you should follow this, but I'll recommend you to learn a tech stack and then probably try implementing that tech stack in a big project.
Okay, so he should be following that. So next is that suppose I solve a question. I have seen a question. I'm not saying the tags and stuffs. So I'm moving forward. I'm not able to get the solution. Now I want to know the topic on which the problem is asked. How to do that without seeing the tags or the solution?
Uh, Again, uh, the more you do patterns, the easily you'll be able to recognize it. Like this used to happen with me a lot when I used to code. But as I said, nowadays, the more problems that I've done, I've slowly started realizing it that okay, this problem will be solved by this, and this will only come by practice. You can't be just sitting across and thinking, why am I not able to? And the only way to do that is try to solve questions pattern wise. As I always say, try to solve it pattern wise. Pick up a pattern, try to solve 10, 15 problems with that. Then slowly and slowly you'll start understanding what topic does the problem belong to. Because if you just solve the pattern, like if you just solve a couple of questions on the pattern, then you'll never be able to understand different ways on which the pattern can be molded and asked, right?
So, and it comes with practice too. So, let's move to the next question. I'm in my fifth semester. I'm currently doing lead code as well as Geeks for Geeks. I also give contest on them. I want to ask that if it is the correct time to start with competitive programming.
uh, I feel that it's not the correct time because you should be focusing more on lead code and GFG. Give the contest. You can give like if you're wanting to do CP, try to give contest. Don't get into learning segment trees, penwick trees. That will not be of any use because it will take you time to grasp those tougher concept of SOS, DP or digit DP and all those things. But yeah, try giving contest if you feel that okay in 6 months you're able to solve first three problems, then try learn. But in your fifth semester, the focus should be preparing yourself for placements. That's going to happen if you do lead code or GFG. Try to prepare a project, try to do course subjects. That should be the sole focus on your third year and fourth year. CP is something which you can do side by side. That also just do contests. Don't give a lot of time on your back end, like just near the placement. Don't give a lot of time to CP. That's what I'll always recommend.
Okay, so the next question seems that he is struggling with his rating a lot, with
Mhm.
especially code forces, it seems, because he is asking combinatorics, discrete mathematics, कहाँ से learn करे competitive
Uh,
programming के लिए?
in HackerRank, there is something known as I'm not sure if you've heard about this Euler project बोल के है. In HackerRank, there is something as Euler project. So you can just go across there. There are 500 or 600 questions. Try solving this one by one. Mathematics will automatically get strong. That is what I did. I did up till 55. So I got a fair bit of idea about maths. So try to do that Euler wala stuff from HackerRank. You'll find that in HackerRank. So try doing that to have your combinatorics skills up and mathematics vagera, and try to do number theory questions more and more, like tag number theory tag questions to get a bit more program and mathematics together.
So the next question is, how does the projects play a role in fan interviews? How much
Uh,
importance it has?
in Google, there's no project rounds. So in Google, the importance is zero. They don't care about your projects. They don't care about anything. There will be 5 rounds. 5 rounds will be data structure and algorithms. 1 round HR. That's it. No projects in Google. Similarly, in if you go for Amazon, in Amazon 6 months internship, they have couple of rounds DS Algo. They probably will ask you side projects if you have, but the entire focus will be DS Algo. You're going for Amazon full time, then there might be a round where they will ask you about projects, but more or less the significance is towards data structure and algorithms. Projects will play a part slightly, but it won't be that if you don't have super big projects, they're going to reject you. If you have decent enough projects, you will sail through. But you will have to have decent enough projects. It doesn't mean zero projects on your resume. You should have decent enough projects. Be it from your internship, be it from your normal college projects, you should have projects.
So let's move to the next question. I'm in my second year and have done some CP as well as some devs. Should I go for industry certifications or take part in hackathons more?
Okay. Okay, so if you're in a second year, if you've done CP and Dev, should I go? Don't go for industry certification. Like, don't go for like uh, certificates. Don't run behind certificates. Trust me, certificates are of no value whenever you're interviewing. What is of value is, do you possess that skill? And that is only going to be proved if you have done some significant work on that domain. Okay, so a certificate will not give an idea that you are good enough on that domain. In able to pass on the message to the interview or anyone that you're good enough on that domain, you should have done a significant job. For an example, if I say that I'm highly skilled in Django, and I cannot just show a certificate and that will prove it that I am very, very good in Django. That won't. For that, what I have to do is a very, very good project or a significant project on Django. So eventually, if I write skills as Django, my project backs me up that, okay, I know Django. That is why I was able to do that project. The certificate will not matter. So try to do, like if you're participating in the hackathon, try to complete your problem statement. If not in the hackathon, after the hackathon, try to complete it and make a product. Okay.
Okay. So so the let's move to the next question. भैया आई एम वेरी वीक इन मैथ्स, मेरे से हैकर रैंक के क्वेश्चन मीडियम वाले बहुत मुश्किल से होते हैं, मैं क्या मैथ्स पढूं बेसिक या लॉजिक इम्प्रूव करने के लिए? So he is a third year CS guy, he has mentioned that.
अभी के मैथ्स मेरे से आकर रैंक क्वेश्चन मीडियम वाले बहुत से मुश्किल से सॉल्व होते हैं, मैं क्या मैथ्स पढूं, बेसिक करूं या फिर लॉजिक? बाप रे बाप, मीडियम वाले. So I'll say if you're weak in maths, again try to do Euler वाला hacker rank से, and थोड़ा hacker rank से निकलो, try to go into code forces. All the questions are not asked on maths, so do not think that if you're not good enough on maths, you will not be able to succeed. You don't have to be a pro in maths. If you're okay in maths, it is okay. There's a lot more than maths. So if you're not able to do come out to contests, there's a lot of algorithms stuffs which will be implemented. Don't just sit and see maths करके ही जाना है. पहले आप धीरे धीरे वापस आ जाओ, नॉर्मल चीजें करो, कॉन्टेस्ट दो, टाइम के साथ ठीक हो जाएगा ये वाला चीज.
Okay, so trust the process.
Yes, trust the process.
Yeah. So what skills and knowledge are required for being a software engineer?
Skills and knowledge, again depends. If you are a fresher, people will not require a lot of skills from you. If you are an experienced guy, people will expect you to be skilled in some domain. Once you are experienced, people, DS algo will just not suffice. You should be good enough on whatever domain you're working with. And apart from that, definitely being smart enough is something software engineers have to be. That's why interviews are like this nowadays. They do ask a lot of uh, puzzles and all, but it's not key. You have to have Java ka skills to be a software engineer. You have to have a Django ka skills to be a software engineer. It's not like that. You can have any domain skills, and for knowledge nowadays in software engineer, you should have basic DS algo knowledge, because a lot of times when you're coding in as a software engineer, you'll be using a lot of data structures and algorithms to code or to solve a problem. So nothing specific, but I should be good enough with stuffs which are very common. That's it.
Okay. So the next question that here is best resource to learn DSA with Java from
From
scratch.
scratch. Free resources. See, there is nothing like you can just Google about this, right? If you want to learn DSA with Java, so it's about topics, right? Let's just find the topic. You can just pick up any कोई भी कोर्स को उठाओ, ठीक है? उसमें ना खरीदना है नहीं खरीदना तुम्हारी मर्जी है. नहीं खरीदना है तो there is a syllabus section over there. From that syllabus section, you get the flow in which you have to study. Okay, so in that syllabus section, there is always like first topic should be maths, probably something like this. I'm not specific about the topic. Linked list, binary tree. Take the topic and go to YouTube and just write across that, and whatever, right? जिसके ज़्यादा views है, or probably just do a bit of research about the guy whom you're watching, and then slowly and slowly watch those videos about a topic. But what I'll always recommend is don't learn entire stuff from anyone, because you'll not find someone uploading entire stuff. Try to do it playlist wise. You can go to GFG's DSS self paced course. You'll find the entire syllabus. उस सिलेबस से थोड़ा थोड़ा उठाओ कि ये वाला कहाँ से पढ़ना है. अगर फ्री से ही पढ़ना है, यूट्यूब पे सर्च कर लो, डॉक सर्च कर लो, पढ़ लो. या फिर you can find a lot of resources. It's about googling. Try using your googling skills.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. So the next question is that should I start giving lead code contest, or I have to solve the standard 300 question and then start with giving lead code contest? What should be the
uh,
procedure?
I will recommend you is solve the 300 standard whatever questions are there side by side, but every contest you should give, no matter if you know everything or not, but please make sure you give every contest. Why am I saying you have to give every contest? Because then only you'll face unknown problems. The more you face unknown problems, the more you are uh, you know that you are not able to do it. uh, Basically you get the mirror that you're still not ready, and every Saturday, every Sunday, whenever you feel that you're not ready, the next day you'll give more efforts to be more ready. So try to give more contests. Doesn't matter if you know. Don't have this tendency कि यार सब सीख के ही शुरू करना है. ये टेंडेंसी बहुत खराब होता है. सब सीख के शुरू करने की कोई जरूरत नहीं होती. शुरू कभी भी कर सकते हो. ठीक है.
Okay. So, as you have a broad opportunity, so what are the best ways to apply a broad opportunities,
One of the
and
best
how is
ways
it
is to do
different?
the best way is to probably do masters. You can just do a masters, and if you have done a masters, the probability of getting a job abroad is very very high. So that's one of the ways that you can do it. Or you can go via my path, that because generally freshers do not get calls from abroad. So you can go via my path, is have a 1 year experience and then start applying internationally. And once you start applying internationally, they are going to give you calls if you're good enough. So you'll get calls, try to give interviews, crack it. And once you crack it, once you move outside India once you moved outside once, then it's not that a big deal to again switch. It's not that a big deal. But yeah, you have to be a bit patient, because like for me, I was trying from a very long time, 4 5 months. That's not a long time, but still I was trying from 4 5 months, and then eventually I landed up. So it will take time, but the thing is, you have to keep on applying. You will hear rejections from here. You will not be shortlisted, because they do prefer people who are from their countries. So it will take some time, but eventually you will sail through. So don't apply as a fresher. That the chances are very sleek. But really take 1 year experience and then start doing it.
Okay, so let's move to the next question. How is the placement scenario for an international student studying in India? How is it?
For an international student studying in India, I'm not
Yeah.
sure. I think if you're studying in IITs, NITs, I don't think there is anything key. You'll not be able to sit in. I have not seen any of the requirements that states that uh, you're not allowed to interview. You're not allowed to apply. As long as you have bachelor's, master's, I think applications are open to everyone. So I don't think that's an issue. If you're studying in India, it's absolutely fine. As long as you meet the requirements of the standard CGPA, minimum CGPA requirement, and whatever is like masters or bachelors, whatever is their minimum requirement. If you're meeting it, I think it's absolutely okay. Visa wala, I'm not sure what is the visa scenario. I'm not sure about that. So I'll not comment.
It's still, but still the same. So, do we really need to do DSA to that much level to crack Google?
Yes, you do need to do it up till that much level, because generally the questions asked are unknown. So if you're not good enough with your skills, there are 5 rounds. You're bound to fail. Uh, Sailing through five, it's not a matter of one round that you'll just pass it. It's a matter of 5 rounds. So you have to outperform in every round, able to crack it. So if you're not good enough, I like being just good enough might not be good. You have to be very very good, because the questions are not standard questions. Every question is an unknown one, so you have to be good enough.
So, the next question that goes here is tell us about product based company interview process.
I
They
think
want to know.
it's a very straightforward one. For every company, generally it is the first is they just put up an opening, and there are a couple of ways to apply. You can either go to the careers portal and do a direct application over there, or depending on the companies, like for some companies it is you have to take a referral and then you have to apply. For some companies, whoever you're asking for a referral, he will apply on your behalf. So depending on company to company, that might vary. So application can be two ways: referral based or direct application. After that, you are shortlisted. So again, shortlisted, the chances of getting shortlisted are significantly significantly higher if you have taken a referral. So you will get shortlisted if you have taken a referral. You might get shortlisted if you have not taken a referral and you have directly applied, or you might not get. The chances are very sleek, but I'll always recommend you to get a referral and then apply, because the chances of getting shortlisted will be significantly higher. Once you're shortlisted, you will be connected with a recruiter, wherever, whichever company it is, and she will sit back with you. And some companies might have 3 rounds, some companies might have 5 rounds, some companies might have 6 rounds, some companies might have a coding round just to have an initial assessment. So like in Google, there is no coding assessment whenever they get a referral. So if they have a coding assessment, if you clear the cutoff, you will be called for interviews. Again, the number of interviews will vary. So for every interview, they will be telling you before the interview that this is what we are going to ask you. So you have to prepare according to that. So you prepare and you give all those set of interviews. Once you have cleared all those set of interviews, the HR is going to come up and is going to inform you that, hey, listen, you've cleared the interviews and this is the salary that we can offer. If there's a scope for negotiation, which is generally not the case, like in freshers, they do not allow you to negotiate. But if you're an experienced guy, they do allow you to negotiate. So you can, they will give their offers or numbers. You can say that, hey, this is something which I expect a bit more. So you can tell your numbers. Probably they will come with a bit lesser. Then you can again say that, no, I'm expecting this. You have to give me this. Well, you can throw a competing offer. This goes on, and once you both have settled down on a number, they basically give you the offer. After that, you tell them your joining date. So your joining date comes up, and after that, if it's an international offer, they will do the visa and everything for you. If it's an Indian offer, you just directly join the company. They will send you the equipments. Everything will come to your house, and you can easily join. That's how the process is. Very simple and sleek.
Okay. So let's move to a very general doubt, but still a problem for many of them. So, how to deal with procrastination?
It's as I said, the first. Uh, I think I answered this. Whenever you feel something like kal lunga, always like I always do one thing. I have a very like I have a yellow paper, like sticky. You call that na sticky? Kya bolte? I'm not sure. I
Sticky
have a
notes.
sticky notes. Yeah, sticky notes. I have a sticky notes. If I feel kal ko tomorrow I want to do that, what I do is while going to sleep, I say ki tomorrow this is what I'm going to do. I write them in sticky notes and I paste it on my monitor and I go to sleep. Next morning, the moment I wake up, I see on sticky notes, so this is what I need to do, and I complete that. So have something in writing so that it motivates you. Every time you're not doing it, motivates you. And if you have some goals, like for me, I have a goal of having my own car in some days, or probably having my own flat. So so I'll put that. I need to buy a car. So probably I'll write that somewhere and put it across. So that's how you motivate yourself slowly and slowly. And just whenever you procrastinate, just think about how much time are you wasting. So कल वो था ना किसी का तो था ये कल करो सो आज कर कुछ ऐसा था ना वो आई एम नॉट श्योर
या कल करो
तो
सो
ऐसे
आज
कर सकते
करो.
हो हाँ वो वाला कुछ तो था किसी का तो दोहे थे तो you can also write that in your like in my college days my room was completely filled up with notes motivational notes but I used to change those motivational notes every 15 days so that I always like whenever I got up in the morning I used to get motivated every now and then for an example when I had my Amazon interview so मैंने Amazon का logo लगा लिया था हर जगह लैपटॉप पे फोन पे Amazon का logo लगा हुआ था so that अगर मैं कोई टाइम वेस्ट कर रहा हूँ ना मुझे वो फोन देख के लगे नहीं है Amazon का logo है पढ़ना है Amazon के लिए so you can always follow certain techniques.
Okay. These are small things do make a change.
Yeah, do make a change. And it's very like it's not that visible, but trust me, it does work a lot.
So let's know a bit more about you. So the next
Mm.
question are, what are your hobbies?
My hobbies. I actually play badminton a lot. Like if you play with me, I'm super energetic on badminton. Like I used to play in my college, and I was one of the best in my college. So I play a lot of badminton. If someone is up for a badminton challenge, I can definitely play that. Apart from that, I do watch a lot of Netflix and Amazon Prime. Like you'll be amazed to know I have an Amazon Prime subscription, Netflix subscription, Hotstar. Oh, you call any of the streaming apps. I have a subscription of everything. So any series that comes up, I'm a very big fan of crime thrillers. So any crime thrillers that comes up, I make sure I watch it on within 7 days. That's one. The other hobbies are I generally used to ride a lot and eat food. Like if there like in Kolkata, if there is something which I've not eaten, any food stall, uh, I think I visited every food stall that's famous. So these are kind of my hobbies. Someone is saying password de do.
Okay. So the next question is that it seems that do enjoy a lot, but it is also clearly shows that you have done a lot of hard work. Still a balance between them. But let's talk in numbers. So how many hours did you study back in college?
As I said, always don't count hours. If you're someone who's counting hours, you are on the wrong path. Instead of that, have targets, try to achieve them. Like for me, the first 10 days were long challenge. I
Okay.
always used to make sure ki first 10 days throughout the night I used to do long challenges throughout the night. So I never counted ki, okay,
Okay.
I'm gonna do 8 hours coding. Never count hours. That is what I'll always recommend you. If you're free, if you're just come back and code. That's as simple as that. If you're sitting, if you're idle, if you're not doing anything, that's your time of coding, right? You should be coding.
Yeah.
Once you have achieved something, once you start earning, it's your time. Then count hours while working. 8 hours is what I'll work every day, not more than that. That should all you
Mm,
should only count hours once you're working for someone. But if you're working for yourself, if you're wanting to develop yourself, don't count hours. Never.
uh,
If you're free, have that free time in developing yourself, because that that is something, your skills are something which is gonna give you a massive return in the near future.
okay. So the last question is being specialist and 4-star in courtship good enough to have a shot at internship?
Again, I personally think a specialist with post coaching does not define anything. So don't go on ratings. If you know the concepts, if you are able to solve the problems, because there's hardly a line of difference between a specialist and expert. There is hardly a line of difference between an expert, because someone who solves three questions very fast, he will make it to an expert. Someone who solves very slow three questions will be kind of specialist. So I don't judge usually people until they're like really high rated, or they've given a lot of contest and they're still expert and they're really good enough. But don't judge people on ratings, because I have seen people who are 2-star, 3-star, and are still in very good companies because they have grinded lead codes and GFG so much. So it's kind of, don't judge people on these stuffs. Cool.
Okay. So let's have a last tip from you.
Oh,
What
sure.
what
So
you have
firstly,
observed from all this?
sure. Firstly, thank you for inviting me for the first session of your wonderful winter interview series. I hope everyone does benefit a lot from this. And yeah, the last note will be, whenever you feel down, just think one thing. Just think about one stuff. If you don't work hard today, tomorrow is going to be a black day. So कभी भी अगर लगे कि नहीं हो रहा है, नहीं होने वाला है, अपॉर्चुनिटीज नहीं मिल रही है, दो चीज याद रखना, अगर आज नहीं करूंगा तो कल शायद अच्छा नहीं होगा. एंड अदर थिंग, ठीक है, अपॉर्चुनिटीज नहीं मिल रही है, आज नहीं मिल रही है, कल नहीं मिलेंगी, परसों नहीं मिलेंगी, एक दिन तो मिलेगी. एटलीस्ट उस दिन के लिए तो प्रिपेयर करता हूँ. एंड जब मिल जाएगी तब मुझे वो उस अपॉर्चुनिटीज को दोनों हाथ से लेना है. एक अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलेगी, मुझे दोनों हाथ से लेना है. तो यही सोचो. अपॉर्चुनिटीज कम मिलेंगी यार, मानता हूँ, कम होती है, हम टायर 3 बंदों के लिए, बहुत बंदों के लिए कम होती है. बट वो जो एक दो मिलेंगी ना, एटलीस्ट उन उसके लिए तो खुद को इतना प्रिपेयर करो कि तब ना रोएं कि यार शिट यार रिजेक्ट कर दिया। खुद को इतना अच्छा बना लो कि जब वो लास्ट का मोमेंट आएगा ना एक इंटरव्यू भी बोलेगा यार इसको तो रिजेक्ट मैं कर ही नहीं सकता। अपने को उस लेवल बनाओ सो दैट यू डोंट हैव एन रीजन टू कंप्लेन, यू डोंट हैव अ रीजन की डाइवर्सिटी हायरिंग हो रही है, यू डोंट हैव अ रीजन कि यार हायर नहीं कर रही। खुद को इतना अच्छा बनाओ कि दे विल एंड अप टेकिंग यू, दैट्स इट, दैट इज व्हाट आई से एट द एंड।
Yeah. So you seem to a very well hardworking, a self-motivated person, a self-made coder, and it was very nice having conversation with
हाँ
you. And that's the thing. So let's end this and just a
श्योर
small bit of explanation over what we would be having in the next 7 days. So I would just be presenting the screen and then I would be telling them. So in the next 7 days, we would be having in the 23rd December, which we had the session with Striver, and tomorrow we would be having a session with Piyush on about OOPS, OAD, and a live case study discussion. And the next day, which is 26th December, 25th would be a holiday. It would be a kind of career upgrade for you, where you would be learn about resume building, operating system, database management system, and gate exam topics. The next day would be taken by Priyansh on 27th of December, where you would be having a complete system design preparation to ace your next interviews. And the next session would be taken by me. That is, you would be discovering the proven formula to conquering your interviews. And the next session would be taken by Ayush on 29th of December, where you would find your answer for the most toughest interview questions. And it would be followed up by 30th of December by me, Yash, and Chirag through DSA mock interviews. So that's it from our side. And so we would be ending now. So that was really nice talking to you, Striver. So I hope,
Sure, thank you for inviting me, and yeah, all the best for your upcoming sessions. And yeah, guys, if you're watching this, please make sure you like this. We have just 735 likes. Let's take it to somewhere around 2,000, 3,000. Come on, guys, take it up, and yeah, let's meet sometime else. Bye bye, take care.
so that's it for today. Thank you and good night.